Folks, good evening. Welcome to the first stream of the year. ASR, Nabil, Jackson, Dan. Good to see you all. Good to see you on. Good to see you all. Welcome. Shall we begin? Apologies for the delays, fellas. Things had to be put in place. I had an important meeting to tend to. A new haircut. It may seem so. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Speak to my assistant. Is this the vibe for the year, fellas? Are we? Is this fourth telling of what's to come? The successes, the fruits, the wins, the results, all the things that 2026 is gonna bless us with. Is this the manifestation of it? We are gonna make a deal. I'm gonna take myself to Chatham. I'm going to sit down with DTG and say, listen, either we do no more iterations or there's going to be a riot. I mean, I think it's plain and simple. I mean, Jackson, you know, it is worth considering that recently you've been quite ill, and so I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to at least consider a potential future where maybe a more serious illness could come along. And so I would like to point you towards our pharmaceutical service. Please click the link for more information. Oh, Dan, don't underestimate me, mate. Sleeves are on point. Don't worry about it. Sleeves are on point. Everything's on point. Trousers on point. Oh, Nabil, sir. It's an honor. Welcome. Right, fellas, lads, people of glory. Should we get going? We've got a vast. It's not. I don't really do three pieces. I'll be honest. I'm not opposed to a three piece. I'm not. But I can't say I've delved in the three piece market yet. Perhaps maybe it's something for the future. But as it is right now, it's not something I've endeavored in. Are we saying, Nabil? This is your concept. This is your concept. So I'm expecting, you promise results. So I'm waiting with an expectation, right? We've got targets to hit, goals to hit. I mean, things need to be done, and they need to be done promptly. Right. What have we got today? Oh, Nabil, listen. We'll let time take its course. And simply see where we go to by the time December 2026 comes around. Right, so for today, I think we perhaps continue. I cannot forget the disappointment that this brought me. I can never forgive it. No, you see, ASR, what this is simply I guess, in the gaming industry called early access. So this is it's a pilot. It's a tester. Once we see that we're successful in what we do, then we can forward it over to the masses. But we have to go through several processes, several meetings to try and make that happen first. Bro's literally playing nothing. Bro is literally on the menu. Oh, Dan, listen. If this is the 2026 vibe that we've got going on here, if Danny happens to make a return, this is completely theoretical. If Danny happens to make a return, it's not going to be the same Danny that left. As a matter of fact, do we top it off with glasses or not? Glasses or no glasses? Some would say it adds to the fit. Right. You know what, Domi? Let's say I was to play Dresden Risa. What at all is there to be critical about? What's there to be so negative about? ASR, you have a neutral point. Oh, Dan. I don't need a suit, my man. Sometimes it's the presence you rock up to the room with, you know? When you come into the room and it goes silent. Sometimes it's just that kind of aura. Domi, you will have to discuss the matter with Chief Scientist and Experimenter, Mr. Unbekannt Nabil. He's in charge of operations. Glasses look goofy. Please do mind your profanity. It's 2026. Risa Dresden it is. DBBR 146 it is. S-Bahn in Spring start. Jackson, my associates will be in contact with you regarding the pharmaceutical offer. I think insurance is something to be considered. You know, we won't force it upon you, of course, but I definitely do think it's worth considering. Good evening, colleague. Welcome to the beautiful railway line between Dresden and Riesa. Today, you'll be driving this S1 service as far as Dresden Hauptbahnhof. Please let the passengers board here before departure. Absolutely, I will do so indeed. There we go. Right. CFA on. PZB on. Reverser. Forwards. Headlights. On. Pretty proficient preparation, if you ask me. Jackson, so we do have some sponsors that we do not necessarily share, you know, points of view with. However, they may offer services that we can't offer ourselves. So if you check your email, you'll find more information about that there. CP, Portuguese train enthusiast, welcome. How are you? Happy New Year. Thank you very much, Nabil. I think we need to write up a contract that in order to speak in chat, you need to have signed, read through the terms and conditions, declared your agreement, and accepted the terms which will cover the consequence of not adhering to the rules that have been brought in. Jackson, unfortunately, our services do not cover intentional self-harm. ASR, that is a question full of depth and wisdom. I think it's only appropriate that I leave it to you, the people, to decide. I think indeed we do have an experimental period, right? This is what this is, an experimental period to test Unbekund Nabil's theory. However, if the people choose that regardless of whether this theory is successful or not in what it's trying to test, we may go for it regardless. To the people be the power. May the power be with the people. Oh, I'm doing very well, CP. I'm doing very well, my man, and I'm glad to hear that the same is with you as well. May good health and prosperity be your portion for this year. Oh, Dan, some would argue. Some would argue. However, your thoughts have been registered and noted down. And we shall indeed see where we go in the future with this new rebranding, if you will. I think ASR, it is indeed. I'm in agreement with it being viewed that way, yes. I would say that is the suggestion I'm making. May the power be with the people. Oh, ask away, Jackson the 8th. Ask away. I will say it was a great pleasure being in communication with Jackson the 7th. A great man of principle. Why did you get sent into enemy territory yesterday? Please do define enemy territory. I will say it was a mistake on my behalf to not have checked whether the channel we raided was a channel that has a follower only chat or not. I did decide to make a stand against that, but I failed in doing my due diligence, and for that I apologize. It will not happen again. Jackson, to see another human being as flawed, as sinful in nature, as cause for judgment, and to not criticize myself that same way would be disastrous in going towards the path of the fall of humanity. Jesus said, "Let he without sin cast the first stone." And one by one, they all walked away. Nabil, is that for TSW or TSC? Could you give me some background information, CP, on the TSW and Simra war? I wasn't aware such an event was ongoing. Jackson, I support your support. If you give me your vote, I shall not let you down. Nabil, does that apply also for these career mode runs that I'm doing? Because I tried TS Tools again today. I reinstalled it. And I got into emergency braking by accident. I was pressing the 2 wrong buttons. And it was giving me errors again.
Ziva.
Wait, wasn't yesterday the day that you were covering, Dan? And you were getting a bunch of, please do excuse my French, bollocks? So then how so was there only one ticket that came in yesterday? Or was there one that outshone the rest? One way or another? So there's no program or software that does that whole process for you, Nabil, and all you have to do is just tell it, swap X train with Y train. I'm afraid I don't quite understand that. So you had a bunch of tickets yesterday, but you only had one at the same time. And that was from tickets that you already had, that you were taking your time with. So what were the tickets that were coming through yesterday? Jackson, I withhold no oats from you. Partake in the consumption of as many oats as you please. They were the ones that were updated this week when you were off. The ones that you were doing yesterday? Or the one ticket? Do you have any idea, Nabil, what the other software that Cardo was referring to was? Even ChatGPT couldn't help me out. I asked it for software that was similar to TS Tools, and it gave me somewhat helpful information, but not what I was looking for. Also, if there are any ideas for, okay, so when you sub and then you have LWD by your name, depending on how long you sub for, that can change. So if you sub for like 2 months, it can become something else. 3 months, it becomes something else. 6 months, it becomes something else. Then a year and a half, and then 2 years. And I was thinking to change that outline. So where it's burgundy, and change the color of that. But I don't know if that would be sufficient. Perhaps I can make the final image Mr. Matt Peddleston himself.
Ziva.
It's a glorious machine. Loco swap. That could be the one. I'll ask Carter if he joins us today, and I remember. Oh, yeah, sorry, I haven't ignored your message. I will read it once I come to a stop. Personally, ASR, I think, should it be something that's done every day for a year, it will lose its charm. So I think a solution whereby it happens periodically should be put into place. However, what the catalyst of that would be is yet to be decided. That's my personal opinion. That seems very annoying, Nabil. So, okay, I do understand, but it's yeah, annoying. And it seems like for one single run, there would have to be some testing, because the likelihood that you're going to get everything right first time, I doubt would be very high. We're not doing very good for time, in all honesty. So far so good, Jackson. So far so well. I did have an annoyance yesterday. The reason why I stayed up so late was quite an annoying one. So there was that. But today's been pretty chill. Had a little something to eat. Briefly went out to the shops. Been waiting on a certain process to move that I've been waiting on for a while. And now I'm here with you guys. Fairly decent, if you ask me. Yeah, Nabil, as you've explained it, it's not going to be something I'm interested in doing myself. Either get the solid material in the first place, like the roots, the locos, you know, like from certain third parties that are actually good. Or if it's an AP product, just buy everything so that you don't have to do any swaps, which will It will cost you a little bit. But it just seems to be... Look, if you're going to do something such as like a super long journey, for example, something worthy of your time and effort, then fine. But like you said, for you know, a run that you're going to do once, to tick it off, for example, and never return back to, it's just not worth it at all. The current status of Manchester United, Dan, is a status I've got no idea about, considering I haven't watched Manchester United play in several years now. Or don't play TSC? I mean, that's quite an extreme solution for not being able to swap out locos and coaches. I mean, I think everyone has different standards, right? Like, I'm okay with driving a 101 and the PZB acknowledge button is the LZB button. You know, like, it's not... I think TSW, in my mind, in terms of realism, TSW is already the standard. With Simulgraph and it being just more advanced in so many important ways, it's not really... Like, I've already driven enough stock with bad physics that I don't see this as I'm playing a simulator. I see it as something not simulating, but replicating real world trains and routes. But this is in no way a standard for simulation. I mean, TSW has its flaws, but in comparison, there's not really a comparison. For me, TSC is it's still enjoyable enough because it's like what I like to do, and it gives me a break from TSW. If I was playing TSW 5 days a week, I'd be sick of it, utterly sick of it. But this way, I get to enjoy a bit of both, and sometimes what's in one game isn't in the other, whether it be content itself or certain features. I mean, Dan, you know, I grew up supporting them, and so if I had to choose a club, it's going to be them. However, I don't actively support them. It's been literal years. I think the last time I followed football properly was 2022, which is now 4 years ago. You know what, Nabil? I wouldn't qualify that as yapping. That is actually I think that's a great long-term plan, and was on the same wavelength of thinking as I was on. I was thinking, yes, it's tied to a goal. Perhaps this year we bring channel point goals back, you know? Whether it be in the form of 12-hour streams, or I'm not going to do anything above 12 hours would just be, I mean, a form of suicide in one way or another. So 12-hour stream being sort of the ultimate goal. A themed stream, let's put it that way, a themed stream. And maybe we can converse about the potential themes that could make an appearance. So that could also be channel points. It could obviously be tied to a follower goal, a subscriber goal, or anything else that we come to use as a measure of something during the year. The thing is, Dan, I think it's more effective when it's achieved. You know, if I just come to do it, you know, twice a month, let's say, as you've put down, there's not really a sense of we've done this to him, you know? And in the past, I know for a fact that you guys have taken great pleasure in putting me in different situations. So I think it would be the more sensible option to make it something to be achieved. Nilvinus, good evening, sir. Coming from the land of Poland. Welcome. Happy New Year to you. I hope this year is full of joy and prosperity. May this year be good to Simrel. You know, I know that's very unexpected, but you know, putting our differences aside, may this year be different for Simrel. May this year be the year that Simrel sees a new light, reaches new heights, grows in depth. That's my heart's desire for our dear Simrel.
Zifa.
Thank you, Nabil. Out of curiosity, this is something that I've considered doing over the last couple of years, but it's never gone further than just toying with the thought. But would you guys have any interest in doing me doing car content in terms of videos? I don't think there'd be anything to live stream off the rip. But let's say I was to use, because you know there are what's the thing called, not car clubs, you know, like Turo is a platform where people put their cars on, make them available for hire, and there's just all sorts of weird and wonderful and quirky cars. So let's say on a once a month or twice a month basis, I was to grab a vehicle and just make content about it. Would it be of interest to anybody? Or would that warrant perhaps a completely new channel? Oh, it's this train that makes the LZB sound. Nice. I don't know any laws regarding streaming and driving. Either way, it is something that I've considered like way in the past, but it wouldn't be a part of that plan. Very well, ASR. Understood. I mean, in terms of people minding, Nabil, it's one thing to just ignore it, but I think to have an issue, to actively have an issue with it, I think would be rather interesting, considering nobody would be obligated to watch the content. But it's something to bear in mind. There will always be the possibility. So, duly noted. But it would be different if at some point I was to get my own vehicle, right? Because I guess the idea of doing different vehicles would technically make the channel become like a car review channel, or a car review channel of some sort. Whereas if it was a personal vehicle, then in that case, it would be a bit more connected to the soul of the channel, if that makes sense. An agreeable stance, Dan. An agreeable stance indeed. ASR. Don't forget, the internet can be interesting at times. Good morning, driver. Today you drive the Regional Express on line 50 from Dresden to Riesa. A colleague takes over in Riesa. Please allow passengers to board here before departing. For some reason, I can hear these vehicles very loudly from way inside and below. Yeah, fair enough, Dan. I mean, in all honesty, I have tried with YouTube in the past year more than I've tried, arguably, ever for it. And either I just haven't done well enough, or I haven't been doing it for long enough. Because some content is better than others, but for the most part, it didn't do as well as I had hoped. And I would like to continue, pressing on with it this year. It's not something I'd want to give up on. But hopefully, there'll be more in the way of results. However, you are right to stream for between 6 and six to 8 hours a day, let's say, which would be my ideal situation. I mean, if I was to prioritize the streams, then it would really be the editing that would suffer. Although, I don't think that would be a huge issue, considering. I feel that the expectancy on the streams is not the same as the expectancy on the videos. So I don't think it would be a huge deal, because no one would be really waiting for a particular video on a specific day. Whereas when I stream, there's obviously a schedule that's put out that I'm expected to adhere to. It wouldn't be LWD Adnan car reviews. It would just be there would be LWD and then something else. Any endeavor of mine would have LWD at the front, but it wouldn't have my name attached to it in that way. So like, once the food content stuff gets going, that would be LWD Eats. Well, that's the name I have in mind so far. I still need to toy around with the idea of different names. So if it was for car reviews, it would be something, let's say, like, it could honestly be something as simple as LWD car reviews. As basic as that is. Then, in terms of my IRL job, due to the nature of it, streaming would be very risky. Very risky. Even when I was close to doing so, I wasn't going to have any logos or anything that would give away my location showing. So it wouldn't be like, oh, here's like a live stream of the job itself while I'm doing whatever I'm doing. And the second flaw with that, basically the company wouldn't like it. And the second flaw with that would be I work night shifts. So the huge majority of my usual viewers, you and everyone else in chat, I don't think would be there very much. You wouldn't be able to be there very much. So there is also that. And a stream or edit videos is something I've actually done multiple times in the past and didn't go very well. I remember vividly there would be maybe 2 people that I'm having a chat with, or that are just in this stream at all. There are not many people interested in editing streams. What I've learned is I'm yet to get to the point, or let's say, because it's based on individual people, right? I'm yet to build a following, sufficient enough following, let me put it that way, to where I can stream anything and everything, whatever it entails. Not regularly, but let's just say I just, I jump in, I try this or this every now and again. I haven't built a loyal or dedicated enough of a following to still succeed in that. Let's say, for example, my Lego streams. You were there. So if you compared to recent Train Sim stream performances, just in the last week and a half or 2 weeks, none of the Lego streams combined. If you combine all of my viewership from the Lego streams can match up to any of those streams. Be it in just viewership, interaction, whatever measurement you want to use. When I was streaming, and this is more appropriate because this is when the channel in terms of viewership was at its peak. When I would average between the mid-teens to the low 20s average every stream. When I then moved, when I started doing GTA RP, let's just say, like I said to D yesterday, the channel hasn't recovered yet. The channel has not recovered yet. It's been a year and a half since I was playing GTA RP. In terms of statistics and analytics, the channel hasn't recovered yet. So I think, honestly, like, see, like Mr. Conduct here, he can go from game to game to game to game to game and maintain hundreds of concurrent viewers. So he's built up a following of people who are there for either his personality or his character, or there's clearly something about him that attracts the masses. And therefore, it's no longer about what he's playing, but more so about him. So no matter what he does, he's got his team, basically. I guess Cyberpunk is a more recent example on the channel as well, whereby, I mean, again, I think you were pretty present on those streams as well, so you can see for yourself the change in, well, everything really, compared to the train sim streams that I was doing. LWD Eats sounds like Uber Eats. Well, that's Uber Eats' problem. LWD drives would be nice, yeah. Or even like LW drives. I don't know if that would work or not. But then I guess in that case, I would need, the videos would require driving. So it would be, maybe, if it's going to still be the review thing, a review of the vehicle, and then driving it around, which I guess, you know, is doable, definitely. Nothing's impossible. However, it gets tricky when, you know, what am I dedicating my time to? If I'm streaming minimum of 6 hours a day, or let's be realistic, it's more like 7. If I'm streaming 7 hours a day, ideally, how much time do I have to dedicate, whether it's recording, editing, scripting, whatever it would be? How much time do I really have left to dedicate to that endeavor? Not much. Not much at all. LWD trains. Yeah, I guess if I was to start a series, if I was, let's say, working in the train industry, well, I kind of do. Let's say, like, actually dealing with the trains themselves, then yeah, could get away with that. But even if it was under my current employer, they're very strict, very, very strict. There was a guy that was making great content, Dale something, who is a tube driver, and he would just have the camera, like, it would be like a cab ride video sort of camera angle, and he's just sort of talking, which I believe it's not only good for, like, people to get a perspective, but also to keep train drivers, you know, it kept him awake, alert, etc. Although the employer would say, oh, you know, it was a distraction, it shows that you're not taking the job seriously, rare. And it was a shame, because if you look at the views he was getting on those videos, he's still making content. He's sort of directed his content in a different way. Also, let me say he's redirected his content. It's still pretty good content. It still gets okay views, but nothing like when he was doing his peak content. I haven't made which complaint since last year, ASR. Or be a woman, honestly, Nabil. you've got the winning mindset, man. Just be a woman. You still got to play the game well. There is still a game to be played. But you've given yourself such a head start that you can't really lose. British Railways turned 3. Are they celebrating in any way? What a cool birthday as well, 1st of January. More frequent updates with less content each would probably lead to a more active player base. Yeah. Ultimately, there's only so much you can update that would keep players engaged without doing like minor hotfixes and minor this that nobody. You know, like what TSW like to do. TSW will say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do updates every month or every week," but then you read the patch notes, and they're updating just some random things, nothing that's actually an issue that people are complaining about, something substantial. They're dealing with, I don't know, man, a tree was clipping on the side of a route outside of the tunnel in Bakerloo Land or something silly like that. Things that show that, oh, they actually do have a dedicated team of testers. Because the average player wouldn't spot this and this and that. And yet somehow so many things just slip through the net. And the things that actually require fixing get ignored. It's such a frustrating cycle. Funny how a SimRoad developer was celebrating New Year on the official SimRoad Discord at 12:02 a.m. P.S. He has a wife and at least one son, so he has to be very bored. How does having a wife and a son equate to being bored? And it would have been funny how he celebrated New Year at 12:02. Literally, I had about 7 notifications from Discord of of servers that I never get notifications from because they were all saying Happy New Year. I think that's a pretty normal thing. I only did it as early as I did because I wasn't going to be able to do it at midnight. If I was able to do it at midnight, then I would have done so. Or if I could guarantee that I would have been able to. No update since August. That's rough for any game. You know, we're in an era where games aren't complete. It's not like PS2 or even PS3, and you know, before time's gone, where a game comes out and that's it. You get what you get. Like games are constantly now. Where's my power? Did I go through like a neutral section? I can't even like do anything with the. Right. So I can control the pantograph. I can't do anything with the circuit breaker. Well, I can't accelerate. I've lost power. I don't quite know why. Pantograph is still up. Okay, well, I guess we'll just coast to Coswig then. I'm not quite sure what's happened. Brakes on release, reverser is still on forwards. But yeah, the brake works. How does a brake work? Because it's using electric power, no? I'm confused. Anywho, so as I was saying, games are constantly live services. So when you hear something like that, especially a game that has so much more to go, like it's nowhere near complete, even if they did try to say as such. And to not have had a single update since August. I mean, they can tease with all the pictures they want. I'm not gonna lie. Throw up a million different pictures, 10 different trailers, 6 videos. If it's not in the hands of the people, it's a little bit ridiculous. At least he's not alone at home. He has someone. Yes, no, but you said he has to be very bored. You said that he has a wife and at least one son, so he has to be very bored. But how does that equate to boredom? Surely some of this updated stuff is already ready to be published. Ultimately, I don't know the reasoning for things like that. I've never been a game developer or involved in the games industry in that way. So it could be viable one way or another. Although at the same time, I'm sure regardless that is the case, they do have things that they could release. But either way, I can only view it from the standpoint and the viewpoint as a consumer. And as a consumer, it's not good enough. Especially if I was someone, let's say, who played daily. Like, there is a fair bit of content. I won't knock them for it. But I'm sure even if I've just been playing since August, I would have been fairly bored. This is a horrible stop, by the way. Actually, no. Really? I've lost braking as well. I thought it was wheel slip, but it's not. I've lost my brakes. I don't quite know what's going on. The pantograph is still up. I can't actually manually flick the circuit breaker switch, although it looks like it's in the closed position anyway. But we have no power. There's no power at all. I don't know if there's like a number one, I don't know why it's happened in the first place. Number two, I don't know if there's a key bind for the circuit breaker. Okay, if you're trying to do some sort of translation or something, it could be that. Sometimes things do make sense in a different language. Right, pantograph is fine. What's circuit breaker? I don't see anything regarding circuit breaker. So is this just another cooked? I don't even know what this little... Oh, you can't even see it. It's behind my camera. There's like a button that I press on the HUD. And it looks like a key. So is the key out somehow? Like the master key? I don't understand anything that's just happened. Okay, well at least it wasn't completely lost. I don't know why the key would have... I don't know. I've got no idea what's going on. It could be just TS Classic being TS Classic. That's the thing. The game doesn't really explain to you anything. So is it a bug? Was it user error? I'm just left to guess. And why did I have breaks a little bit until I didn't? Like, they were working for a bit and then they just stopped working. Croydon's doing quite well. I think Croydon needs to work on expanding the map. I don't know what the limitations are of a game within Roblox, but Croydon's got enough content in terms of buses, tons and tons and tons. So I think the priority this year, if I had to like delegate, for example, I'd say it should go towards expanding the map, which they did do a little bit of last year. The suspension update was pretty cool as well. See suspension like that in Roblox is very cool. Very, very cool. I still really wish there was a way to reset the camera. You know what? I'm gonna look for that now. See if there's a way to look a button that resets the camera angle. Also, that station stop previously was quite weird because it had like a gap in the platform, and the actual stopping position was after the gap, which I don't know. Maybe somehow the doors would have aligned with that, and it would have been okay. Couldn't really tell from my point of view though. No. But hey, at least there's 2 buttons for pause. I can't even escape out the menu. I mean, I know it's an old game, but come on. At least they've got an RGB radio, I guess. It's ancient. I know what the game itself. I'm aware it's ancient. Oh my days! I don't like the sneezes. Not in my ear. I sneeze a lot myself, but I don't sneeze in people's ears. I know the game's ancient, my guy, but are you telling me they couldn't set the escape button? Like I mean, that alone is ancient. The escape button used to navigate out of menus. The thing is, Nabil, I should, because I've given this game enough accolades. I've spoken about it so positively. I've compared other games against it. So it's only right that when it's time to criticize, I do so with the same energy. I did some more flying yesterday. I was in Morocco. Very interesting weather in Morocco yesterday, in Tangier specifically. Very, very interesting weather. But it was cool. It was nice anyway. Then I realized almost like all the assists were on, so I just turned them all off. Or maybe I should keep them on. I don't know. But the thing is, keeping them on would be likely to maybe give me more longevity and patience in the game, right? But then at the same time, I'm not playing it for that experience, to be like babied and not have, I guess, a realistic experience. Or maybe I do so. I do play with assists until I get a yoke or some sort of flight peripheral, and then try and do things a bit more properly, because maybe it's just super tough to do things properly on a controller. I don't know. You know, to this day, Jackson, I still have never had smash burgers. Not for any reason in particular. I don't have anything against them. Just haven't had them. Although I can't imagine them being like as filling as a regular burger. Is the hype around smash burgers because that's like the cool thing right now? Is it because they're actually super tasty and better than regular burgers? Because to me, unless you have smash burgers where they stack the patties, you're getting less for your money. Could get some, cheers. Yeah, much more tasty burger experience. Do you actually though? Do you actually? Send over 20 quid, and I'll order some, and then it can be on you. If they taste like trash, it will be on you. If they taste great, then you've blessed me and you've put me onto something. I just can't imagine being hungry, and then, you know, I say, oh yeah, let me go for a smash burger, and then be filled up afterwards. And my stomach's still quite small. My stomach is still small. It's not the stomach I had at this time last year, and I still don't think it would do the job. Like probably the bread would fill me more. Maybe even the cheese. Pick out the restaurant. Pick out the restaurant. This is on you. It wouldn't even be a good idea for me to choose the restaurant. Not in what way, Nabil? What criticism do you have with them? You get the same amount of meat in a burger. Okay, so a regular smash burger that you can get from wherever always will have 2 patties. Is that what you're saying? Because I've never paid attention to that. It just looks to me like there's 1 usually. Okay. In that case, then that, if it's the truth, because I don't know, if that is the case, then it defeats my point. So my hands are up. I just feel like I've seen burgers multiple different times with just 1, and it's those ones that I imagine to myself, if not for like, I don't know, some onion rings inside, or onions or whatever, this wouldn't really do much to fill me up. See, that's the thing. So okay, so let's say those ones, a single patty smash burger, what's the point of that? You might as well just be eating the 2 buns together with some sauce inside. Yeah. Okay, in that case then, we're good. Because that was my problem. Because I've seen some where they stack, like, and your burger will be like this thick, and it's just stacks and stacks of the smashed patty. Obviously, that's going to fill you up. So, okay, so beyond... What is the... Like, what's the... Why should I get a smash burger over a regular one? Like, is there a change in the taste somehow? How is the experience better? Yeah, that's a fair Nabil. Fair, cool. So that was basically my concern. And did the one that you have two patties in it or just one? Hello, Mark. Happy New Year to you too, my man. Thank you very much. I hope this year is very good to you, Mark. Okay, Jackson. We're here for quite a bit of time, so take yours. Oh God, Mark. Here we go. All the classics. Oh, the last time I took a shower was last year. The last time I took a crap was last year. I haven't eaten since last year. Well, you've only got one day for it. Why not, eh? Might as well make the most of it. Oh, we had 2 beef patties. Okay. See, now this is something worth bringing up to Jackson. Here's someone who's actually experienced the patty split, squashed, and wasn't impressed. And it had a bunch of other stuff there. That sounds good, you know. I'm not going to lie. Where did you get it from, Nabil? That sounds good. Double cheddar, onion, pickles. What? That's a bit of me, mate. That is a bit of me. Alright, we'll do the snail's crawl. And it still takes 5 seconds to come to a stop. I really want Simro to be it this year, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really it's properly on my mind. I want to play a lot of Simro this year. I want to come back to it. And Bond, yeah, but was it like a known, like restaurant or just like some sort of I don't know family owned business or whatever? I think these are my favorite types of services. Quick little EMU, and you know, anywhere between 5 and 10 kilometers. Well, anywhere from 5 and up kilometers between stations. Interesting, Jackson. Okay, so there is some science to it. It sounds like that's fair. That's valid. Okay, I'm very open to trying one. I'm very open to. I mean, not just one. I'm happy to properly try it out. It's not something weird like what was it he said? Ham and guava or something, or ham and pineapple. That I'll try once, and then we'll see where we go from there. They only have one restaurant. Okay, fair enough then, Nabil. Tom, streaming on New Year's, of course, my friend, of course. Streamed on New Year's Day, streaming on New Year's Eve. And honestly, genuinely, if not for like going to see family, I would have streamed on Christmas Day as well. I believe I've streamed on Boxing Day. I did stream on Boxing Day. I streamed on Christmas Eve. Jackson, just look at the general London area. Not gonna lie, it's not something I can order today. But when I do, I'll let you know, and I'll let you know how it went. I'll let you know the place that I went to, what I got. I'll describe the burger for you, to you, and then I'll let you know my final verdict. I do, but I'm good. I'm good. What you can even do, if there is one that you want to recommend in general, is to have a look around London, see what you can find, and then if you find one that you'd recommend, I can check if it's near where I live. If it is, then I can order it. If not, then we move on to the next one. Why is Ysig track 2 on the HUD? Why would that be there? To be honest, Jackson, there are so many like small restaurants that do them. When I say small restaurants, I just mean ones that aren't big chains, McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, etc. There's a lot of just small ones in London that do them. It's quiet. They're quiet. It's like fashion at the moment. Well, they've been the fashion for about 2 years now, actually. Which is why I've been interested in going for one, but not really like seriously enough to make it a priority. Like when the missus and I go out to eat, we have like a list we choose from, and we just choose from there at random. Wait, no, Bill, what did I question? I don't even remember. Oh, the track, Ysig track 2. It's just odd because there's usually nothing like that unless it's connected to what let's say, for example, I'm doing some shunting or I'm going to couple up to some wagons. Then it would say, okay, this and such siding 3, siding 7. So to just see it randomly on a service like this, it stuck out. But yeah, no, you make a good point. You make a good point. I didn't even pay attention. Maybe there was actually something there. I didn't even pay attention to the scenery as we went past. I love that. When it gets down to 0.00 kilometers, I know I've succeeded. It's a lot more. It feels like a much more bigger achievement than TSW's ridiculously inconsistent one. Yeah, I mean, see, Jackson, when you're going to places like that, bro, they can't do any wrong. They can't do any wrong. It's like when I went to a restaurant like at the end of last summer, and they did like noodles, and they had where you order, next to it was like a window where you see the guy making the noodles. So it's like completely fresh, made in house, and he doesn't stop. And of course, tasted amazing, man. The bowls, huge portions, everything tasted good. It all tasted good. 11 euros. 11 euros is pricey for a burger. Just a burger alone, even as a meal. Well, as a meal, I think it would be fine, but the burger alone is 11 euros. Although, for how you've described it, it makes sense. It's on brand for it for it having that background. Don't talk to me about Birmingham, bro. You're gonna piss me off. I need to start being more positive. Birmingham, Liverpool. I need to start being more positive about these places, man. They're not my ops, they're my comrades. €11 for a burger alone, Jackson. That's not cheap. It's not cheap. It's not like high-end luxury expensive, but it's not cheap. Listen, over here, you can get a burger alone for like £2. So when you say €11, which is what, £9 something, maybe £10 something, that's not cheap. £2, not €2. So let's say €3, €3.50. No, Nabil, listen, he's got it like that. He's got it like that. Maybe if I buy a brand new like BMW, I don't know, BMW, I don't know, what's like a sick BMW, a brand new M3 or an M4, and then the way we see it, it would be like, oh my god, this is nuts. For Jackson, it would be like, oh, I've already got 6 of these. Like, is that it? Or you know, is it made of gold or what? It's just different, man. It's just different. €11 is cheap, bro. It's cheap. I'm talking. We've got like chicken shops, yeah, like local takeaways. The local takeaways we have here are very cheap. When I say, I'm talking very cheap relative to €11, because even now they're more expensive than they were, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The prices have been going up. But let's say you can get like a meal. So let's say the burger, chips, and a drink at these style of shops for maybe like £5 something. Some that do like special deals, £4 something. So for let's say for €5 or €6, you can get a whole meal. Now, at the same time, and they actually taste good. Don't get, listen, like the chicken shops, they're always good. However, you get what you pay for. It's going to be greasy. You know that what you're eating is not going to do your body any good. The whole thing about it, the charm of them, is they're cheap. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as a guy growing up in London, when you're young, you go to chicken shop, boss man, yo, let me get some chicken and chips. Let me get some wings and chips. Like, that's the culture. That's the London culture. And those guys are the backbone of London, honestly. So, the biggest chain of those that I guess you can actually find on Google if you wanted to actually take a look yourself is Morley's, Morleys. But a lot of them are just their own business, like someone's own business, if it makes sense. So they're not like chains. They're not restaurant chains. There are two chains, Morley's and Chicken Cottage. Those are two actual chains, but the rest of them are all. They just use like Temu style names, of they just use like knockoff brand names. Okay, so you'll know Morley's from Chicken Shop Day, yeah. But basically it's shops like that. So if you go to a shop like that to get food, I don't know if you can find the pricing on Google. I'd be surprised if you could, to be honest. But if you can, that would be cool. So you'll get like you'll see it for yourself, because they have a range of things. But typically, you pop in either to get some chicken wings with some chips, or a burger with chips and a drink. Now, if you go to McDonald's, even if you get a burger by itself, brother, it's not going to cost anywhere near 11 euros. So it's still expensive relative to something like that. Like I think you said before, Big Mac was almost 7 euros. So yeah, in the UK, it's the same price. One thing I realized about McDonald's, wherever you go, I think it's the same price. Because even Morocco, the prices were similar to what we have in the UK. So yeah, you go to somewhere like McDonald's, then you get pricing like that. And then anything beyond that, you're going somewhere a bit more in terms of that type of food, in terms of specifically burger, chips, that kind of thing. Now you're going towards higher end, not luxury, but higher end. I mean, bro, again, you get what you pay for, right? Like, the food still tastes good. It's, in terms of taste, dangerously good, as is everything that's unhealthy. But in terms of quality, you know you're getting what you pay for. I can't say any like, that's as accurate as I can be. You get what you pay for. When you go there and you order, and then you go somewhere high end and order their burgers, you open up the packaging and see. As a matter of fact, Pity unfortunately did not successfully complete this scenario. Are you taking the piss? You're gonna make me come out of the suit, bro. With me, I did not complete the scenario, bro. Just give me a tick. I'm happy with a tick. If you don't tick this, I'm not playing this again. It didn't even give it a tick. Well, because I missed a stop, whereby it wasn't even my fault. I'm done. With you, I'm done. We go into Bahnstrecke Strasbourg to Karlsruhe. Your roster on the line starts on the freight yard. Drive Strasbourg Port de Rhin to Frankfurt main container train as far as Karlsruhe, where another driver will take over. Unfortunately, the shunter at Port de Rhin has failed, and you'll need to make a turnaround move at nearby Strasbourg Neudorf before you can head north. Okay. Keeps it a bit interesting. Let's go. I think this is going to be my first endeavor on this route. I hear what you're saying, Jackson. The level of, I guess what we have here, right, is unhealthy and just frozen trash put together, and then something like a McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, and then you have unhealthy but with good ingredients and high quality, if that makes sense. Wow, I can change the PZB mode on this. Nice. Oh, you just ready to go? Okay, bet. Let's get our lights on. SNCF threat. Is this a company that still exists in Germany? Oh, we're not in Germany. We're in France. Sorry, we're in France. We're not in Germany anymore. If the SNCF didn't give it away, but it's on its way to Frankfurt anyway, so these trains would still be seen in Germany. Oh, there's a lot going on here, isn't it? I think this is my first French route. NTSC. Can request bus signal danger improved. I saw it very late. Very, very late.
Zugbeeinflussung. 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 Zugbeeinflussung.
Is the blue like meant to be like the sparks or what? Why is there the blue flashing on the windscreen? I'm not playing TSW. Threat SNCF does not exist anymore. Ah, fair enough. Any idea when this takes place? I'm not paying attention to my speed at all. Burger King have the most burger tasting. I mean, they actually use real meat, so it makes sense that they'll have the best tasting burgers in terms of if you're comparing it to like a McDonald's or, I mean, KFC just do chicken. You can't really compare it to KFC. And as somebody who's worked in Burger King and seen the burgers getting grilled, it looks pretty much like any other like real meat that I've, grilled myself or cooked over a fire. I did not do this, by the way. I haven't pressed anything. Was I meant to stop? Have I derailed? What's happened? Derailment due to junction switched against train. I'm not going to question things. However, I'm just wondering if it had to do with that red signal that I was approved to pass. Because the TGV, was it a TGV? Whatever it was, that the high-speed train that had just passed. So I'm assuming the tracks were still set for it. But when I was now approved to go, that would suggest the dispatcher had taken care of what needed to be taken care of. Could I have changed them? Could I have changed the switch from? No, it was here. Wait, no. It was here. It happened. Okay. I'm happy to give it another go, but wait for the signal to change rather than request to pass. Because in TSC, it's not like you automatically get given the right to go every time you ask. Because time and time again, I've been denied. The game likes me today, yeah, I can tell. Company was split into the two entities, Hexafret and Technis, at the beginning of 2025. Oh wow, it's only quite recent. Do they still go into Germany though? They should, right? You'd rather save 2 trips to McDonald's and spend the money on one good quality. I hear that. I hear that. That's actually, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Makes sense. It was a TGV. Okay. I just hope it doesn't keep me waiting and waiting and waiting. Why it approves me though, like Nabil said, let me just not ask. I shouldn't ask important questions. You enjoy Fernbus more at the moment than Subway Sim. The steering keeps you engaged. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess then you would enjoy any driving game if it's a steering that's keeping you engaged. However, you know what? You know what? Enjoy it, bro. Have fun. Genuinely. I'm not gonna criticize you having fun, and I'm gonna like shit on your parade. No, enjoy yourself, bro. It's good that you spent money on something. You should enjoy it. They should. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so our double red has now gone down to a red, which has gone down to a yellow, which we shall pass. I don't know what the safety system is like. I mean, it said PZB, so they use PZB, which I haven't turned on. I forgot. Which you're not meant to turn on anyway as you're moving, but no comment. Maybe I'm still going at a low speed.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
I mean, to be honest, Jackson, I've spent... Okay, I think if you check my hours played, it doesn't back me up. But I would play for... like, my play sessions were hours and hours long. What I would do, I would download the real Flixbus app on my phone. And then from whatever city I'm starting from, I would start from that city on the app and then just see what they have available. Because there was a way to... rather than it forces you to like choose or whatever, you could choose the city and then it would show you what's going out. And so I'd find the destination that's in the game and try and replicate as much as I can the real life journey and the time and everything. And that way I'd play for hours, man. 2-3 hours per session. I don't know, Nabil. I don't know. I don't know. Like, what have the results been, you know? I haven't seen any new followers, no new subs. We're back down to 2 people in chat. There's been no change, man. The credibility is incredibly high with this fit, right? But see, if people had an issue with my credibility, that's their own problem. Because I've always been truthful, honest, open. So that had nothing to do with me. The thing is, Jackson, Fernbus is not missing content. They've added so much coach DLCs, albeit quite a few of them are unbranded, but that's okay. It's not okay, but it speaks to whether companies want to work with them or not. They've added a bunch of map DLCs. Like, I'll be honest, bro. They've added enough that, you know, let's say theoretically it was all good quality content. The game would be a little bit more popular, probably, you know? Oh, I'm not wheel slipping, boss. Like, I know I'm not wheel slipping. You're doing too much. I'll put in 100%, man. 100% throttle, and I guarantee there'll be actually not be any wheel slip. Just bollocks. Is there any way to get rid of those sort of notifications? I actually don't care for them. Be it, timeliness, well done. Be it, uh-oh, this was wrong. I don't care. Don't care, bro. What have I got a yellow for? Is PZB not going to work in France? A man can only respect you now. You know what? You're not wrong. Like, me actually being here in a suit, it's one of those. You know, like how it's easy to play on like people. You by talking a certain way. If somebody has never seen you before and I'm talking a certain way, they will know me as, oh, this is how this person talks. Anyone who just stops by the stream today and sees me in a suit, they'll think, oh, I just stream in a suit. Genuinely though, I'm actually very happy with the presentation. I always enjoy wearing a suit, man. Always happy to wear a suit. Oh, is this going to be a red? I just clocked. I think this might be a red. Oh, it's the yellow. Okay, thank God. I'm still going very hard on the brakes though, and I will stay there. I don't think it's PZB here, is there? I'm not gonna acknowledge. I don't even know why I have it on. I shouldn't really have PZB on. I think. I'm just gonna disable it. It's more so when we enter Germany. Oh, of course, just like that, the air clears immediately from the brakes. Nice. Mock Simulgraph all you like. It's actually a goated bit of kit. Another pity with the What's the pity though? You have to like talk to me, like inform me, like what's the pity? What is Fernbus hour in real? What is one Fernbus hour in real time? I don't have a clue. I just align it to start with the real thing. Scale is 1 to 10, yeah. Which in its own right is actually kind of cool. Remind me what the ETS2 scale is in the bill. I know you mentioned it recently, but I don't remember. 119, yeah. So it's got, so it's a better scale in terms of realism than Euro Truck. And it's a big butt. Not the type that I tend to like, but yeah. This is that across the signal. What signal? It's showing this little magnet as a signal. I'm used to being babied in TSW, having the signals changed for me. Wait, pause. I'm going into track 3. Where's track 4? I thought I initially did it wrong. Oh, I need to go at the end of track 3. Okay, so now I'm on the right. Okay, so actually I didn't do anything wrong. What I thought was I was meant to go over there. That's cool. We good. Grim Reaper, hello. Welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you very much. Hope you have a great year, my friend. Yeah, and then you go to the next city, Nabil, and you find that it looks exactly like that as well. Went in with a high expectation. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you. In theory, it's incredible. In theory. And they do some things quite well. Like, for example, the sounds that you hear while driving on the highway. They're the most realistic sounds I've ever heard from a game. Like, you can hear the textures changing and just all sorts of different road noise that you would hear on like a, you know, a road trip of sorts. I was always very impressed by that. My mind is like trying so hard to make sense of things because I've woken up so late today. It feels like by now it's like the early afternoon, but I woke up in the early afternoon. No, no. Do you mean like last night? I do my New Year in church. I mean, it's the regular thing, isn't it? Going out and like partying and stuff. It's the regular thing that people do. And there was a brief time when I also engaged in it. Oh, it was once, and it was a very interesting night. Hello, Dan. Nah, I'm good. It's actually very cold. The room's been super cold today, man. So this is actually doing me a favor. Like my window's closed and my fan's not blowing. But let's say I was doing this at the height of summer. That would be a bit of a problem. Nice and smooth. Get set to depart north if/when. What do you mean if the signal ahead clears for you? What do you mean by that? What do you... Huh? That's not really what you want to hear, bro. Talking about some if signal clears for you. What are we doing here? Right, I don't know what I should leave the brakes on. I'm going to leave them as they are. And then move over to the other side. Where's that key thing? I don't know whether I should have released the brakes or not. As we're coasting. Okay, the train's not like immediately slowing down. Okay, it's just a wait. Half day tomorrow, good for you, man. Good for you. I got my night shift. Got my night shift tomorrow. Bro, if and when, my guy, if and when is probably out of everything that's happened today, if/when is probably the craziest one. You're telling me that there's a possibility that I'm not leaving the siding today. That's wild. No, Dan, it said basically leave this area, leave the sidings if/when the signal clears. It doesn't really bother me too tough on a bill. Being someone who doesn't really care about that stuff. Like, yes, in real life, you do drive according to standards, right? But there's not an actual legitimate career mode. And if I wanted to pretend there was and use TSWs or TSC scoring methods, I couldn't. Because they're so far separate from reality. I should have just came in 2025. Nah, I'm happy to be playing it, man. Happy to be playing it. Like something like this, for example. You can't get this in TSW. At least if Dresden Arisa, you could argue that it's available in TSW, so why not just play it there? Whoops. But something like this and a whole lot of other routes, you don't really get to experience sticking to one game. Yeah, there are quite a few, aren't there, Dan? TSC, TSW, Simrail, Trains, Railroader, Zusi, and that's not all of them. Magina, however the hell you pronounce it. If someone would say, you know, Trans-Siberian Railway Sim, I guess they could. I mean, there are some other things that are an advantage as well. Well, with mods. I think the rain looks better with the AP pack than any mod has done to the reigning TSW. Armstrong Powerhouse's trains are arguably all better than the trains in TSW, not including the Expert loco. I mean, hey, you can't say pulling out the archives with TSRS and not say it with Zusi. They added. I checked on it. Was it a week ago now or something? But I checked up on it, and they had updated it, but not like anything that would get me. Not in a way that would get me to play it again. I don't think there was anything story related. I hope it doesn't bring a train to a stop. I accidentally went into emergency. Yeah, but nothing worth coming back to the game for. Am I meant to have PZB on? It's ahead of an early night, Jackson. Have a good night, my guy. Appreciate you stopping by and talking about smash burgers. Bro's talking about bears. You missed the blowing up of the bridge. You missed the shooting up a strip club. You missed the killing of scientists. Shooting up a science lab. Really, that's good, man. That's good. Is there anything like specifically that you're like enjoying, or is it just a general experience? Average mission in GTA. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I hear that for sure. Yeah. So it was the 145 something you'll be involved with as well. Oh man. Something inside my mouth, not just in my mouth, but like between my mouth and my skin, something deep inside. Feels like it's quite swollen. Hurts to swallow, hurts to yawn. can't locate it otherwise. Yo, I'm sorry if this is going to be a dumb question, yeah? Am I driving in France or am I driving in Germany? I'm confused. Because everything is German. Signs, signaling. Oh, I thought I was in France, bro. I thought I was in France. I thought I was in France. That's why I even turned PZB off. Border crossing is not far away from Strasbourg. I didn't even notice when we crossed over. Was it the... What point did we cross over? So I guess I should always have it on then, so that I don't get any situation like this. I don't know, bro. Maybe. I don't know what's inside these containers, innit? What's the heaviest material on Earth? Whatever the heaviest material on Earth is, maybe that's what we're hauling. Like 20 containers of it.
Zugbeeinflussung.
What I really like is how it always seems like the brakes immediately release. Look. And the speedometer no longer reads the speed in the middle. Think I'm going to worry about wheel slip. Bro, I hope you haven't thought I've been joking this entire time that I've been saying like Simigraph is goated. Every time I play this game, bro, I say it. I'm serious. I'm dead or serious. It's actually like got complexities that align with like how things operate in real life. Like it's always very interesting to see whenever they talk about it. Like it's actually in depth. Not of course exactly as per real life, but it makes sense, if that makes sense. No pun intended. And so I come and play something like this, where, you know, like you said, look how long it took for an emergency brake to be active, and then immediately we're able to get going again. In this train. This is this toucan, by the way. Okay, so I think the front of my train is the container. No problem. And in a train like this, immediately after an emergency brake application, we're able to get going again. Not even an EMU could do it. I don't even know if I'm in the right mode. As in, is that something you're going to be driving, potentially? Okay, fair enough. Driving the 101 is going to be sick though. I watched a few videos yesterday of IC Lokführers, and one of them was a cab car at the Störwagen, and the other video with it was the actual 101 itself. Both were very cool. Both were very cool, man. The only thing that puts me off that train, which is kind of important, is it's all in German. So when there's a problem with the train, I can't like yesterday. Yesterday there was something on the screen of the train that I was driving. No, not yesterday. Yeah, yesterday we did the request a route. There's something on the screen, but I had no, bro. I don't know what it's telling me. I know what is it every time I'm gonna get my phone and use the translate that doesn't even work half the time properly. It's like, it's just, man, it's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah, I mean, he should do. What I've realized from IC Lokführers is, number one, he hides his identity, which is, I don't know whether that's a personal or corporate decision, but nonetheless. And then also when he's driving through stations, I don't know how he edits this, but he will just have the passengers be blurry and everything else still shows. And obviously, like he says out loud, you know, the signal stuff. Like he follows all the procedures. So, you know, you can tell he doesn't get distracted, for example. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's the thing. The issue with the guy in the London Underground that was doing those videos is that he was actively making content. He was talking to the camera. He was narrating. Whereas with IC Lokführer, he just drives and he does whatever he does as by the book. And it's almost like the camera's just there, almost like some sort of CCTV that he just uses for his videos in a way. Like it's like he completely ignores it. Of course, absolutely. He also blurs out the Ebula as well, the one he has on the tablet. What I found interesting, maybe there's just not important information there, but he doesn't blur out the radio. I'm not sure what 1000 hertz magnet this train is reading, by the way. Oh, we're gonna do a red. I'll be honest, I didn't see a yellow. Okay, I did see a yellow. That was when I said the thing about I don't know where this 1000 hertz has come from. But seeing how the train brakes, seeing how the train emergency brakes, we were not going to come to a stop. If I had emergency braked at that yellow, we wouldn't have made that red. Maybe I should have made an effort to like actually talk to the dispatcher. Maybe we would have been let through. But either way, I just given up. I had instantly given up. Let's do an IC service. This might be a bit painful. I don't know how this is going to compare to the good ones, but from what we've seen so far, I wouldn't expect any miracles. I'm not feeling positive about this at all, bro. I'll be very honest with you. I'm not feeling positive at all. I find it cool that the 218 outside Frankfurt is like really there. Got a bit of a headache coming on. Yeah, the time is crazy still. Man. Something dormant might have been triggered inside me. Right, what would mean right away? What do you mean? What do you mean right away? What does that mean? Bro's talking about right away. No one said anything. What does that even mean? What was the intention there? Like, they're telling me to go, right? But what do you mean? There's no AFB as well. I don't think AFB works. Well, Nabil, what would you prefer? That when I press PZB acknowledge, it makes the LZB sound, or it doesn't make any sound? I don't know which one I'd prefer myself, to be honest with you, bro. You'd prefer no sound? That's insane. I think they're both as bad as each other. Not nearly as loud as the alerts on the Class 20 though. From Skyhook. Absolute disaster class. Maybe there is a secret way to turn on AFB, but I don't know it. You know when I realized it was bad? The whole physics thing. I was doing an American route. I don't actually remember. Why isn't the speedometer? Why hasn't the speed changed? I was doing an American route. It was an American freight route. Long, you know, your typical long US freight. And I turned on as I was turning on the, you know, like how I'd normally turn on PZB CIF and stuff. I was doing the same keybinds just to turn on whatever safety systems were available. And I saw that one of them changed the brake realism setting. And even though I knew it was a bit risky because I don't know how that would work in this game, they got the radio at least, or something about the radio. Although I wasn't sure about how the brakes realism would work in TSC, I still opted to try the most realistic one. And I was expecting it to be at least like TSW, minimum, you know, at that level. I'll be honest, bro. It was basically the same as, like, there was no releasing of, maybe there was a bit of really waiting for the brakes to release, but not substantial. And when I saw that, okay, this is what a developer has called like the most realistic brake setting on a US freight train. which I've got plenty of experience from in TSW, so I know fairly well what to expect. That's when I knew it was bad. I'm not gonna lie. That was when I knew it was bad. And since then, everything I've seen has only confirmed that truth. TS Pro. I'm not even gonna ask. I can tell by the name what they wanted to do. From DTG, that was DTG's thing. TS Pro. That's awful, man. Is there functional LZB in a DTG train? Out of curiosity. Oh yeah, another thing as well I saw from IC Lockfury's video. Bro, the speed at which this guy does the CFA sometimes. It's like the millisecond it flashes. Instantly. I don't know whether he looks at the time and knows when it's about to come. Or whether like he actually sees. I don't know. But it seems like he's hacking it. It honestly looks like he's hacking it. It's crazy how quickly he acknowledges it. I'm not gonna lie, I find it a bit silly that you guys have to read out loud what the signal's telling you to do. I mean, like, you either know it or you don't know it. Or like, what does reading it out loud, what does that do? You know? And I also still don't understand how the 500 Hertz magnet works. Oh, you don't have to? Are you sure? I feel like I read it one time on like his subtitles. That it's like procedure to like read what the signals mean out loud. I mean, yeah, if it's a job you've been doing for some time, like years, and you're doing it every 30 seconds for 8 hours at least, then you know what, it makes sense. I mean, I can't really talk on it, so if you tell me that's not the actual procedure, I can't argue, but my guy seems pretty, like, on it, you know? CFA reflexes is crazy. I don't know why it's hard to spot sometimes when I'm playing TSW. Maybe it's just the screen, because anytime I've played it in VR, I've been on it like that. Instantly I see it. And somehow, on a flat screen, it doesn't stand out as easily. Or maybe it's because when I'm in VR, I'm completely immersed. When I'm streaming, I'm looking at chat, whatever. I would love to be able to stream TSW in VR often. It's doable. The only issue I'd have is chat. The easy part is streaming it. Also, streaming it without the image looking funny. Having to say Mayday. Oh wait, you told me about this. In what situation again? I remember you telling me this. I just don't remember the context. Bro, even like the handles are all completely silent, all the controls. Hold on. What was that for? No way was that for that for the 120. I acknowledged this, but there's no magnet. But I going past this, I acknowledged it. After that, there's nothing else that would have caused that to trigger. Okay, wait, there are magnets here, but there's nothing here. But it happened before these magnets anyway. It happened before these magnets. Those are 500 hertz magnets actually, because the signal's here, I think. I acknowledge. You even saw this here, it move, and there was nothing. And I didn't even I didn't even close off the emergency brake application properly. It did it automatically. I don't know, man. I'm starting to see a whole lot of flaws with this game, man. They're all appearing now that I'm playing somewhat often. Now they're all starting to they're all starting to appear at the cracks. Maybe I'll just stick to TSW, you know. Maybe I'll just stick to TSW unless there's like a new TSC release that I get given and I do 2 request a route streams a week instead of 1. I don't know. Because I don't want to overload myself with TSW content and then get just absolutely sick of it. Or maybe to spice it up, either 1 request a route stream and then 1 day on like a modded timetable, or 2 request a route streams and a modded timetable stream. I don't know. Spice up some Fortnite. You see what I was saying earlier about when I play other games, the views just drop? That would be a very good example. You're trying to set me up for a downfall there. Nobody would touch Fortnite, and you know it because you've been witness to it the last time that I tried. Although, I could still just play TSW 3 or 4 days a week. And then just have like 2 games I'm dedicated to. If it's not going to be TSC, then either, well, so it'll be something competitive, like let's say Fortnite. Let's say like Fortnite or sim racing, but I don't want to do sim racing again until I've got my what's it called? I don't want to do sim racing again until I have my setups back, or maybe until I get a proper racing wheel. So it could be, competitive content in terms of that, or something like Euro Truck and American Truck Sim. Like for the money I'm gonna pay, the time I'm going to invest in modding it, I might as well make the absolute most of my games. I want to do it both to ETS2 and ATS now, rather than just ETS2. Just load them up with mods. And hey, if I got to if I spend 5 years on one game version, so be it. But I would like it to be one type of game. So either Fortnite, either LMU, or either the Truck Sims. Even then, it might just be ETS2, to be completely honest with you. But it has to be consistent. Whatever I'm going to go with, it has to be consistent. That cannot be safe. There's no way that was safe. The digger's basically line side. Then, ideally it'd be LMU with my wheel, my Moser wheel, and my setups prepared. Ideally, I would like it to be that. I'll be honest with you. That I have now the perfect reason to do that. You know. Oh, there is LZB. Well, fly, young buck. I can't even mess with the AFB controller. I can't do like the keybinds for cruise control on TSW don't work here. So I'm assuming it automatically does this thing, which it looks like it has. Off stream, Nabil, please tell me how. Please tell me how. I stream 7 hours a day. When I'm not streaming 7 hours a day, it's most likely because I've got work or I'm gonna be out. But here's why I put so much emphasis on wanting to be like financially independent so that I don't have to go to work. If I don't have to go to work, that gives me potentially 3 extra stream slots. My Friday evening and Saturday, 2 streams on a Saturday. This year has to be the year, man. This year has to be the year. I don't know how. I got my faith in God. I got faith in myself. I got to do it this year, man. Now, if I want to do this properly, then I mean, ultimately, if I want to do something with this, like I say I do, I got to take it with both hands. And I think I'm already showing that by not putting like full-time work ahead of it, amongst some other reasons anyway, but this is one of them. So if I go full-time work, yeah, cool, I'd be comfortable financially, but still limited anyway. I'll still have a ceiling, just a relatively comfortable one, and I'll just have no time to myself. Well, I would, but very, very limited time to myself. And I'd always have to answer to something that's not really like me. The suit is a good start. I don't know, boss. Perhaps. I would take weekends off, Dan. I will tell you in what situation I would take weekends off. If I'm working 8 hours a day, so let's say I'm streaming 8 hours a day like I was doing over the summer, 8 hours a day, and making enough that I'm comfortable with, that I wouldn't feel the need to rely on min-maxing every second of every day. Like ultimately, if it could at the very minimum be the equivalent of a 9 to 5 in every aspect, then I'd be happy. So I think maybe from next week, TSC goes off the schedule and only comes on when there's like a newly released DLC. Or if maybe I get some like high quality mods or add-ons. The thing with this is, there's so much inconsistency. Like one DLC might be completely trash and the next one might be great. Maybe I'll just do 3 DLCs that are trash in a row and then the next one is a gold mine. I wanted to try Kick, but I couldn't do it with streaming on TikTok as well. But streaming on TikTok did so poorly. Like if it was an OMSI 2 for some reason at 9 a.m. in the morning, the views would just be trash. So I'm happy to swap TikTok for Kick. The only thing is I'll have to restart my subscription with Restream in order to add Kick to the mix. And there's nothing really to give me confidence that Kick would work out. I don't know much about it personally, but from what the little I do know about it, it's got like the popular streamers there. And I just think going there with train sim content and truck sim or sim racing, I don't know if it would do well. Restream is a service I use to stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and I was also using it to stream to TikTok as well as those two. So for like, I think it's like $19 a month, I basically get to stream to 3 different I have 3 different outputs, and it comes with the chat being spread across Twitch and YouTube. It didn't work with TikTok. It could work with Kick. I would hope it would work with Kick if I do end up streaming there. But yeah, I've just got I might have to just do a bit of research about Kick, because it will be costing me $19 a month to. This will be the last one, Nabil. It will be costing me $19 a month to stream to Kick, basically, right? And so the question will be then, am I now making? I'll be honest. I don't make $19 a month from streaming, as it is now. Like I will happily show you and be completely transparent with all my payouts and statistics and for YouTube, for Twitch, for all of that, and you'll see. You get, so there has to be a return on investment, and I don't know if Kick will bring that in. Maybe I trial it for let's say I trial it for like 3 months, maybe see what the result is. I think 3 months would be pretty, consistently streaming for 3 months would give me a pretty good, so it would tell me whether this is worth continuing on with or not. But I'm not gonna lie, at the moment, with how things are currently, I've cut off every single subscription that I do. I've deaded Spotify, I've cut off Adobe, I've cut off Restream. Like it's that kind of situation at the moment. So I just want to be a little bit careful about how I move financially at the moment. I mean, Nabil, it's when I would end these streams anyway. Usually between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. my local time. Like the first streams would be around 4 hours, if they go as planned, and then the evening ones would be closer to 3. At the moment, we're on 2 hours 49 minutes. Yeah, if I was to stream to YouTube by itself, Dan, or Twitch by itself, that's free. But when I'm now streaming to multiple platforms at once, that's a paid service. Let's not talk about the ETS2 stream a bit where I ended that after like 2 hours. That makes no sense to you? Well, I'm using their bandwidth, right? I'm using their bandwidth. I'm using their service. Like on OBS itself, I don't have an option to stream to multiple places at once. I either stream to YouTube or stream to Twitch. So instead, I basically stream to restream, which then splits. It itself takes care of splitting the stream. What do you mean? Is it not just capturing my screen? That's what streaming is, yes. But I'm uploading. So from my screen, I'm uploading to a service. So I'm using upload speed. So you know how you download something, you use download speed. So I use upload speed to upload, to send my stream somewhere, be it YouTube or Twitch. And like I said, on OBS, you can only stream to one platform at a time. So the way it is now, in terms of technicalities, I'm basically streaming to restream instead of Twitch or YouTube, and restream is sending the stream. So they're like the middleman, if that makes sense. Restream is the middleman between myself and YouTube and Twitch. Oh, bro, it was the roads and everything was so trash. And we just did one journey and then ended it there. What are you struggling to understand, Dan? What isn't making sense? So that I can, I know where to like, I know how to break it down. No, that was genuinely it, Nabil, because I was planning on staying for another. I had like, in terms of finishing time, I was able to still continue playing and streaming. But I couldn't, bro. I couldn't. Are you sure you understand? Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I'm trying to reach as many platforms as possible, you know, so that my people on YouTube don't miss out, my people on Twitch don't miss out. It's obviously demoralizing when every time I go on YouTube, for example, it's 0, 0, 0, 0. Once a week I'll check and it's 1, you know, and it's like, okay, well, what's even the point? Because otherwise I could literally just stream to Twitch by itself. Twitch is my most successful. Twitch is my most receptive platform for streaming. So then I could just save my P's and then go back to streaming in 1440p again. Well, probably when I get my GPU. And then save money from paying for multi-streaming. And that's it. Hey, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I don't pay anything to Restream. I got it wrong, by the way. Sorry. So Restream. Sorry, I apologize. So without the subscription, you can split. You can stream to 2 places at once. That's free. But I think they add some caveats. I don't remember what they are. Whatever. It's only when you want to stream to 3, then you pay the $19, and then if you want to stream to more than 3, then the price goes significantly higher. So I still could stream to like. I need to check the limitations. I don't know if they limit the quality of the stream. If they do, like, that would really suck. If they don't, then I would just stream to Twitch. Mods, Nabil. Mods. Simple solution, innit? Simple solution. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, this. I wanted to see this. So.
That overlay on.
I mean, I just need my map, bro. This is. I might as well show you here. Shouldn't be looking at that. GMC Logistics. ETS2. We're on 1.57, right? 1.57. Free and paid maps. Oh, they've made this so funky. Total mods, 131 for that. Like, this is what I need. You can't go wrong, bro. Like, the ridiculousness of it, yeah? There's things that I don't even know what they do. Like, how many of these have you never heard of before, bro? I don't know what a lot of these do, but the result is fantastic. Rust map, obviously, we know. Donbass, Latvia rebuild. Look, Northern Cyprus add-on, and it's probably some small little thing, but you get me. Senge map add-ons. I have no idea what that does. So when I'm downloading, and all of these have their own websites, by the way. Any like single mods has its own website or link. Oh, there's a. How have they added the Rhineland map to it? Anyway. Install them one by one. Some of them are paid, so you have to. Well, some of them have the paid option, which I usually do because number one, it's quite cheap in their own right, but number two, and number two, you get everything straight away. So then you give all all of these basically, and yeah, a lot of it is Russia. So literally, I will get everything here, and then all of Jazzy Cat's mods, which there's a bunch of them. And then sounds, I'm sorted for sounds now, thank you. Then you got some Steam Workshop stuff, which I've got a bunch I'm subscribed to. And then there's the organization of them and installing them in the right order. Bro? It's long. It's long. They used to have all of them together and you tick. Promos currently overrides. No, it doesn't. I don't think they haven't updated this yet to Pro Mods. Wait, have they got? It's not Pro. They're not using Pro Mods 2.80, are they? Yeah, they're still on 2.77. What? Wait, what's the ETS2 version that we're currently on? look at all of this as well. 1.57, right? Okay. So they need to make some changes then. Or, because there's so much, everything needs to work with each other. Everything needs to work together. So it could be that maybe they're ready to bring Pro Modes 2.80 in, but the other mod authors haven't done what they've needed to do to make things work together. And so this is why I usually wait for, let's say when 1.58 beta comes out, then I go back to 1.57 and start doing all the mods. Because by then, like right now, if I go to 1.56, which is probably genuinely, this is what I might do. I might go back to 1.56. Do maximum, apply. And it should tick. Like, see how this is unticked? I think if I do it, I think by default, it's unticked because it clashes. So anything that's unticked is just unticked because it will clash with something and it won't work. So yeah, you've got everything there. Anything that's fake, which I think is other. So this I would turn off. This I would turn off. I would need to see what this is. This looks like it could be legit. This looks like it could be legit. So I would turn the others off. So everything here is done. It's as mature as it could have been for 1.56. So although it's not going to have the latest updates and fixes and whatever, it should all work fine. Well, I mean, yeah, Nabil, but then the question is it worth... Is Nordic Horizons worth playing on the boring map? You know? I guess right now, with that in mind, and with like Pro Modes 2.80 having added some quite good stuff, what would be the most sensible thing to do would be to wait for 1.58 to come, which means that I then miss Benelux, because I would assume Benelux would come out for 1.58. Yeah, Promos Maghreb is on the corner as well, so it's all pointing to be sensible and just wait for 1.58. Now let's go to ATS. Could ATS be the game then that I play instead? Let's say ATS 1.56. What did 1.57 add? Oh, Louisiana, isn't it? But if I do... Why is Coast to Coast not in that? Coast to Coast conflicts with Patreon EMMN expansion. For Coast to Coast to work with ATS expansion, you need Discover North America. Okay. $56 compared to 131. Wait, I thought they had Algeria. Wait, how did they get to Tunis without... Or are you just trolling? Yeah, bro, I'm telling you. This website is so goated, yeah? And look at this. I didn't put it there. I posted this in July 2024. 6-minute video. And I explain everything. I go through the website. How to do everything. What everything means. How to, like... This was sick. Morocco, Tunisia only. That's funny. Yeah, it's definitely got Moroccans working on it. Look when I open everything, look at my tabs, bro. One by one, I go and download. And you know, some of them with the stupid adverts, they will open more tabs for you. But literally, look. It's ridiculous. I didn't go through the order because it I'll show it at some point in the video. The website even tells you if I go here and to, it said it at the top, I think. There's somewhere it says it. Okay, here we go. So it shows you the launch options, how to set up the buffer, page size, and then the load order. So it tells you everything. There was nothing for me. So at some point I showed this in a video. Bro, 2 likes, 150 views. Look at that, 6 minutes. I show you the whole lot. How to elevate your game so much. I felt like the thumbnail was pretty good. Title, it's straight to the point. This is one of like my biggest, not my biggest disappointments in terms of I released like bad content, but just in terms of how it performed, this is up there with one of the worst. For what the content itself is, that's one of the worst. Yeah, I told you I've been watching him, bro. I've been watching him. But what's my history? Look at that, 3 videos in a row I watched. And then, okay, I don't know where the rest of them. Okay, I watched this one on Saturday. And then there are more at some point. But yeah, man. So yeah, maybe if I go back on either ETS2 or ATS, I lose map DLCs. So maybe, okay, either we make a return to Motorfest. Maybe I spice it up with the crew too. Or LMU. December the 3rd, bro. I need to uninstall this at some point. I also last played that in December the 3rd. And that was only to see the Berlin Christmas market. Really? Oh, that's quite soon. That's good. That's good. I've got a headache, man. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, man. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow for some more some classic chaos. And yeah, it's just gonna be the one stream tomorrow. Just gonna be the one stream. Oh, it's not gonna be the last time in the bill. Absolutely not. Don't forget, we're still scheduled for tomorrow and the day after. So buckle up, my boy. There's still a couple more hours worth of content for you. But yeah, I wish you guys a lovely rest of your evening or day, depending on where you are. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, stay safe. Health is wealth. Till next time. Peace out.